Welcome to the official personality guru. ENTP relationships often start with them deciding to be in love with someone because it makes logical sense. They're unlikely to fall in love through uncontrolled emotion. Rather, ENTPs truly fall in love through a slow process of using logic to continually think about it. They choose someone for the long term because it makes sense to be with them. If an ENTP does jump into a relationship, it is because they're excited by a possibility and idea of it and not the reality of the relationship. To commit, they have to see that being with someone is not cutting off responsibilities or possibilities, but opening up even better ones for them to explore. ENTPs have to see their relationship as an exciting new world to dive into and want to see where it takes them. ENTPs want a relationship based on growth. They need a lot of mental stimulation and engagement but don't look to their partner to be the sole provider of it. However, their partner certainly needs to be able to keep up with them. For ENTP relationships, openness and honesty are key. They own up to their own mistakes and make efforts to improve. The true mark of comfort for them is being able to take off the mask they wear for the world. Sometimes, ENTPs don't even know they're wearing a mask. However, when they are close to someone, that person can strip off their mask and see the core of the ENTP. In a relationship, ENTPs show that they care by helping their partner achieve their goals. This is the power of their NE hero to enable others to achieve the impossible. ENTPs can be incredibly romantic when they feel safe doing so. They just have different ways of showing it. One way is to defend their partner in arguments with others. They gallantly turn their wit and debate skills on anyone that opposes their partner. This is their way of showing their loyalty, which they value gently as they mature. Ultimately, ENTPs care about understanding their partner and want to use their unique talents to have fun and make their partner happy. Today, let's talk about ENTP when in love. Before we start, make sure to subscribe to the official personality guru and ring the bell icon to get regular updates on our latest uploads. And if you like this video, click the thumbs up button and share it with your friends. ENTPs are among the most versatile, open, and adaptable of all types, displaying a broad array of interests and activities because of their openness and versatility. They can find love and compatibility with several different personality types. ENTP's dominant function is extroverted intuition or NE, which is the function primarily responsible for their adaptability, versatility, and ideational creativity. So when we ask what ENTP seek in a relationship, we are in many ways asking what NE seeks in a relationship. As an extroverted function, NE is concerned with the breadth of ideas and possibilities in the outside world. ENTPs love speculating and debating, dealing largely with hypotheticals. They enjoy bouncing from one topic to the next, as one idea quickly begets associations with another. Therefore, among ENTP's top criteria for compatibility is a partner who is interested in discussing ideas, even those that many consider taboo or subversive. As dominant perceivers, ENTPs love taking in the world. Most enjoy games, movies, the arts, and culture, as well as various outdoor activities. They want a mate who brings a curious attitude to life and isn't afraid to explore new experiences, options, and ideas. Because of their NETI combination, ENTPs, like their INTP counterparts, also desire a great deal of freedom and autonomy in their relationships. While men are notorious for not wanting to be tied down in a relationship, this is especially true for ENTPs. They crave the space and freedom to openly explore and experiment, and to do it in their way. For any thinking type, has little to do with feelings or infatuation. Rather, healthy and authentic relationships for thinkers are based on T things, as well as N things in the case of ENTPs, rather than on F matters. And this is exactly where many thinkers get tripped up. Having assimilated cultural ideals promulgated by FI romantics, they commonly judge a partner by the degree to which she inspires feelings of love or infatuation. But because thinkers' feeling function is largely unconscious and undeveloped, selecting a long-term partner by way of feelings is in many ways a blind, naive, and irrational practice, in which thinkers are drawn to feelers for the same reasons they fall into the grip of their own inferior and/or tertiary function. This is not to say that thinkers should never pair with feelers, but only that the relationships are best built on something more substantive than the primal attraction of opposites. Extroverted feeling, or FE, is ENTP's tertiary function. This function contributes to the enjoyment of being around people. However, in light of our above discussion, ENTPs authentically need people and relationships more for the sake of NE dialogue, than for FE reciprocation of feelings. The last of ENTP's functions is introverted sensing or SI, which serves as their inferior function. Despite its inferior position, ENTPs must reckon with their SI regularly. As they function opposite of NE, SI urges them to forego the new NE in favor of the tried and true SI. It confers a concern for tradition as well as for the development of behavioral routines and habits. This often leads ENTPs to feel torn between future possibilities and past precedent, between novelty and stability. Because of their SI, ENTPs may at times end up pairing with SJ types, especially ISFJs or ESFJs, who serve as embodiments of ENTP's less conscious selves. They may find themselves comforted by SJ's air of confidence, stability, and reliability. Such relationships can provide ENTPs with what appears to be a fast track to wholeness. Unfortunately, it is rarely long before such pairings begin to encounter difficulties, as they realize how little they have in common and how different they are. This is not to say that ENTPs could never make it work with SJs, but only that these relationships are predictably more challenging because of the opposing nature of the involved personality functions. It is also not uncommon for ENTPs to pair with SP types. Examples are ESTPs, ESFPs, ISTPs, ISFPs. This is due, at least in part, to the fact that SPs are extremely common, especially in the US. Regarding compatibility, SPs are not predicted to be significantly better matches for ENTPs than SJs are. Of the SPs types, ENTPs may do better with ESPs than ISPs. ESPs, who are also perceiving dominance, can resemble ENTPs in their tendency to be fun-loving and novelty-seeking. This is similar to evidencing, for instance, in the conflation of SE and NE in the Enneagram Type 7. These types may share interests in things like games and movies, as well as various physical activities. However, unlike ENTPs, ESSPs are the most concrete of all types, shying away from abstract discussions. ENTPs and ESPs also tend to have disparate lifestyle preferences, with the ESPs displaying greater concern for social status and material novelty. ENTPs, by contrast, are relatively unconcerned with material novelties and nice ties, placing a higher priority on creative and ideational treasures. As you may have already guessed, ENTPs are likely to enjoy greater compatibility with N-types than S-types. Those pairing another MP type, like INTPs, ENFPs, INFPs can enjoy a partner with a similar attitude of openness and curiosity toward life. This is particularly true when pairing with ENFPs or another ENTP. With that said, ENP to ENP couples may run into difficulties related to excessive similarity or a deficiency of complementarity. They may find, for instance, that both partners prefer to be talking most of the time, making conversations more competitive or frustrating than nourishing. Therefore, ENTPs may find easier compatibility with the INFP or INTP types, who are more naturally inclined to listen or ask questions. ENTPs can also enjoy easy compatibility in lifestyle with other NP types. Many NPs, especially those not raised in affluence, display relatively meager standards of living. Using SI rather than SE, they tend to be minimalists concerning the material world. This seems particularly true of INPs. Hence, finances may be less of a contentious issue in NP-NP pairings. Finally, ENTPs may also pair quite well with NJ types since INJs are also dominant perceivers, preferring NI. They generally share ENP's attitude of openness even if this is largely concealed behind the veil of introversion. ENTPs can enjoy much as far as an intellectual and philosophical discussion, as well as the arts and culture, with both INTJs and INFJs. With that said, INFJs who share the ENTP's FETI function pair are likely to be a better or at least a more natural match than INTJs. Sharing the FETI function pair contributes a similarity of interests, epistemology, and communication styles, all of which bode well for the ENTP-INFJ pairing. ENFJs who also use FETI may also be an excellent match for ENTPs, since ENFJs are among the most talkative of all types. The ENTP will likely use NE more for listening than expressing when paired with an ENFJ. One foreseeable difficulty in this pairing could involve the ENFJ trying to change or motivate the ENTP to be someone who he is not. This could inspire fierce resistance from the highly independent ENTP, even if displayed in passive-aggressive ways. ENTP, ENTJ pairings are fairly uncommon since these types typically have little as far as upfront chemistry. They also have no functions in common and may display significantly different interests and approaches to life. This is not to say that such a pairing could never work or even work well, but both partners would need to be quite individuated and secure in themselves. ENTP challenges in relationships. Like other P types, ENTPs can be prone to mistaking relational harmony for their relational health. Since their natural mode is one of adaptation, they may assume they can adapt their way out of nearly any relational difficulty. How about you? As an ENTP, how are you when in love, or what are your attributes when you are in love? Be sure to watch until the end and share your experience for a chance to have your comment pinned. While some degree of compromise is helpful and necessary in any relationship, some ENTPs may do so excessively. This tendency relates not only to their status as P types but to their tertiary FE, which strives to maintain peace and harmony in relationships. Consequently, ENTPs can end up digging themselves into a relational hole by adapting to the point of losing themselves. This can lead them to resent their partner and act out in passive-aggressive ways. It is therefore important for ENTPs to adopt a policy of openness and honesty in the relationship, ensuring that their grievances and preferences are being openly aired and discussed. Before we continue, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give us a like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the official Personality Guru for more amazing videos. Don't forget to ring the bell icon to stay updated with our content. That said, the foremost challenge for ENTPs is often not the relationships but finding a suitable and satisfying career. As discussed on our ENTP careers page, ENTPs commonly struggle to find consistently satisfying work. This struggle inevitably impacts their relationships, especially when others are financially dependent on them. Many ENTPs find themselves stuck in a situation of working a less than optimal job for the sake of making ends meet, and there is nothing worse for an ENTP than feeling trapped. For this reason, ENTPs may be wise to focus on improving their work situation before committing to a long-term relationship. But due to their difficulty in narrowing their options, ENTPs often struggle to zero in on what they want to do. This can leave them feeling lost, scattered, and full of doubt. To address these concerns, we have developed an online course, Finding Your Path as an INFP, INTP, ENFP, or ENTP, specifically designed to help you better understand your personality, life purpose, career path, and relationships.